Kathy Bissell. Welcome to the Golf Show 2.0. This week we have an extra special guest, and Gary Van Mastodon is going to tell us who it is. Gary, take it away.
Thank you. I'm also known as Gary Van Sickle, but I thought I'd change my name here because of our guest. He runs the appropriately named Mastodon Golf Club about 30 miles east of Columbus, Ohio. Al Schultice. I've played there. I've seen a mastodon head in the clubhouse, and I've been out to the warehouse where they've got the fully restored mastodon bones. Only a select few are allowed there. I've been inside to see it. It's real. It's impressive. And thanks to Al, I was able to write a story in which I mentioned mastodons and golf in the same sentence. So, Al, thanks for being here. I know there's a story behind this, but before we talk about how the mastodons were discovered in the golf course, they were already discovered. How did you come up with the idea to take over this golf course and then rename it?
Yeah, so the previous owners, the original owners, they are elderly, and the gentleman, Sherm Byers, he got down sick, and it was solely up to his wife to keep it going. And I knew she was wanting to see about keeping it a golf course, so I approached her, and it's history. But the golf course, 97 acres, and they're not making land anymore, so it's a golf course. Two things I love, and I said, I live 10 minutes away. This makes a lot of sense for me, so we're putting it back on the map.
So now that you're a golf course owner, undoubtedly you're playing so much more golf. Am I right?
Well, I tell you, if you want to improve your golf game, don't buy a golf course, because
Yes.
So, but no, it's been a lot of fun. A lot of great people out there, and I'm loving it.
As I learned when I wrote the story that ran on SI.com, the original owner was expanding. He had a 9-hole course. He wanted to add a second 9, and he started digging on the back 9, and he came across some unusual bones, and he luckily realized he was onto something, and the experts came in, and it was mastodons and mastodon bones. And tell us about, you've got some memorabilia and all that, but tell us about tell us about that. I mean, it had to be exciting, not that you were there, but it had to be exciting for that area to have a mastodon find.
Yeah, so about 45 miles away from me is Johnstown, and several years ago they found a mastodon skeleton there.
Oh.
And the previous owner, Sherm, he acquired the land next to him, like you mentioned. And the very first day of the excavation, it was an old bog, and they were digging it out, dredging it out to make it deeper and put a pond in. And the very first drag line, they unearthed this mastodon skeleton, and they stopped what they were doing and got a hold of the archaeologists here in the area in Newark, associated with OSU. And they immediately came over and took a look, thinking that's, there's cow bones, probably is the find. And lo and behold, the gentleman that showed up first on the site, as soon as he seen the teeth, he knew exactly it was a mastodon. So they shut the dig down for about 2.5 hours and brought equipment in and a bunch of college students, and they started to unearth the rest of this mastodon skeleton. But this skeleton was very well preserved in the bog. It had all of this peat moss and everything over it. And so the stomach contents was still well preserved. So this actual find, it's called the Burning Tree Mastodon, if you Google it. But it was in 1989 when they unearthed it. But it actually changed the history books. The plant life of that time that they didn't realize was around to find proved to them that there was other plant life during that era. So they actually changed the history books with this find here in little old Heath, Ohio.
I have to ask, was the mastodon's last meal spaghetti? Or was it something else? Did we find out?
Totally plant life. I'm
Okay.
not sure what kind of plants, but yeah, it was pretty neat. It was missing a rib bone. Other than that, it was totally intact.
Wow.
The scientists said there's a misconception that this mastodon was just roaming around and fell into this bog and died. The scientists say there was flint marks where spears or arrows were used of the man of that time, and it was harvested. And they said that the man of that time uses the bogs like we would use our refrigerators, helps keep their meat and everything cool. So they either harvested this animal and transported it into there, or they drove it into there and harvested it. So it's pretty darn neat to hear these guys talk about this find. And when I took the course over again, the previous ownership was called Burning Tree Golf Course, and I wanted to rebrand it, and I couldn't think of a better name other than the Mastodon Golf Club. It came to me, and I just kept thinking of other names, and I just kept coming back to this one. You got to bring some history back home. So far, it's worked pretty good.
It's amazing. I once left a spare rib in my refrigerator so long that I actually grew a mastodon inside the refrigerator. So I can see how they would use the bog to do that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember.
What kind of reaction when you came up with that to rename the course? What did the people in the area say?
It was at first I don't think they were really thought it was the right thing for me to do, but it really stuck. I mean, it's one of the radio stations advertised it, bringing the mastodon has been found in Heath, Ohio again, and they led into a commercial about the Mastodon Club. So no, it's been pretty good. Gotten a lot of good conversation in regards of it, and it's a new course in the area, even though it's been here for several years.
Gary tells me that there's a replica small version of the mastodon outside the clubhouse. Is that right?
There is. It's like a bronze statue.
Okay.
Yep.
And then the real thing is inside some secret storeroom place.
Yeah, the real bones was sold to a private citizen in Japan, is the story, and he's got it in his personal collection in Japan somewhere. The previous owner, he has the rights to the replicas, so he made a business out of running a golf course and selling replicas of the mastodon. He self-taught himself how to build molds and duplicate this mastodon. So he sold the replica of this find, and as Gary's seen, there's one down in the barn, and then they had before the gentleman got sick, he had started the next replica, got the head completed and the tusks, but never finished it. And so I was lucky enough to acquire that, and it's
okay.
It's play in the clubhouse. And
yeah, so you've got a mastodon head in the clubhouse, and then in that outbuilding, which I'm not sure if you own that or someone else does. That's where you have the one replica is all put together, and then you can see the Lego pieces for the next one. Good luck to whoever has to put that one together. But that's not your building where the full size one is, right?
That's correct. I do not own that building, and that replica is not mine either. It is the previous ownership, and it is for sale if anyone wants it.
Oh, really? Well, do you know how much he wants for it? Just out of curiosity, how much does a mastodon cost? I've seen.
I don't know.
Well, you need to
get you need to get a videographer and walk through that warehouse and video the full size mastodon replica and put that on your website as a way to promote your brand. I mean,
yeah.
Look, who doesn't love this whole idea of what's not fun about mastodons and golf? It's great.
Yeah.
There's a TV program called Dinosaur Hunters that has been on the History Channel, I think. And it's about some people out in the Badlands of, where is that? South Dakota, North Dakota, and also in Wyoming. And they've been digging for different kinds of fossils, and they sell complete skeletons for upwards of $10 million or more.
So don't you have the urge to go out and dig some more? Because where there's one replica or one mastodon, there's probably another one out there. How do you resist the urge to dig up some more dirt there?
Well, it's very difficult, Gary. My plan is to get the golf course squared around and playing very well and up to my standards. I have a plan of putting another par three on the course, so I have 19 holes, and then I will be able to shut a hole down and do some excavation, exploratory digging, and such.
Okay.
Still have an 18-hole course to rely on. So no one likes to play 17-hole golf course. So
No.
Where the location of where the mastodon was found, that's by the 14th green where there's a pond and a bridge now. Is that right?
That is correct. Yes. Yeah, if you come and play the Mastodon, hole number 14, it is surrounded by pond and a bridge going across it. That is the Mastodon pond. We have plans of getting a nice bronze plaque and mounting it out there. It's on my priority list, but it's down towards the bottom right now. I'm concentrating on greens and tee boxes and fairways next. So.
Well, you've got a couple of greens. I'm pretty sure there might be a mastodon buried under those. Notably, number 18 was one of them. The par 3, it's sort of not an island green, but it's kind of surrounded by sand and got water. There's a large lump on. Have you looked under there?
We've got a lot of undulation. There could be a lot of something underneath 3 or 4 of them. Yeah.
I think you also need to have a Mastodon Open, but instead of like bringing in tour pros, should be a golf tournament for all the paleontologists in the state, like university types.
That's a great idea.
And they probably aren't great golfers, but that's okay. Bring them down, let them play, and spread the word. But the Mastodon Open, again, that's another T-shirt I want to buy, Al.
Actually, on October 29th here, it's our last big event for the year. We call it the Mastodon's Revenge. So we set the course up extremely difficult. You're going to have the elements that you're going to be playing in that time of the year. So it's not for the faint of heart, but it's like a greenskeeper revenge. But we call it the Mastodon's Revenge. He's getting back from being found. So we had a lot of fun last year. This year it's going to be even more challenging. So we've got course looking pretty good right now.
Do you have a personal favorite hole out there?
18 is near and dear to my heart. That's why I put water around it. It was the very first thing I did when I took the course over was make it a somewhat of an island green. And it's, as you've discovered, you can play the best round of your life and come into 18 and just completely fall off the wagon. That hole can either play very nice or it can ruin a good round.
Yeah. If you could have a chance to ruin somebody's day after 17 fun holes, you should totally do it.
Yeah, that hole right there, you just got to go after it. You got to be mean and let it rip. That's.
I thought number 10 was a pretty strong hole. I was playing a tee. I was kind of far back, and I felt like I was hitting it through a bowling alley under a tree. A bowling alley under an overhanging tree to a green over water. Was there water there? It was a hard shot.
Yep, it is a very narrow hole, especially when you're playing it from the tips. The whites is a little bit more forgiving, but you still got to be on point with your shot. You can't miss it left or you can't miss it right.
And that is like a 210 yard? Was it 210 yard par 3, something like that from the back?
From the tips, it's about 190. And then number 18, it'll play about 190 to 200, depending on where we're at. But from the tips on 18, you're looking at 210, 220.
Do you have a lot of people coming in, stopping by just to see what's going on with mastodons? Do they come in just to see the head and the bar if they've heard about that?
Not so much. The previous ownership used to have a dinosaur museum, so every now and then you'll get
Oh, okay.
you'll get a few folks that'll stop by with kids wanting to know if the museum is still there. It's not there anymore. They um, excavated all that. Oh, I mean, there was all different kinds of dinosaurs he had in there, replicas of those. They sold that off to some dinosaur hunters. So, yeah.
So has it been fun? Is the amount of play picked up? Are you happy with the golf course and how it withstood the summer?
Yeah, I tell you, last year was it was a good year starting out, but this year we've really got the course in a much better condition. The greens are just fantastic now. People's really starting to take notice of that. With the previous ownership, just not being as healthy as he once was, the course
Yeah.
just wasn't great quality, and so we've really worked hard on getting it put back together like he used to have it, and it's playing very well right now. Our play is up quite a bit, quite a bit. Been a great year,
Oh,
a great year.
Gary, I think you've got a quiz for Mr. Mastodon, don't
Well,
you?
I've prepared a special quiz for you, Al.
Oh shoot,
It's only 4 questions, though.
probably gonna make me look foolish in front of
Oh
you.
no, not at all. Usually it's fun, but I didn't, I didn't go overboard. But
Okay.
if you get all 4 questions right, you'll be enshrined in the Van Sickle Hall of Fame. But if you don't get any of them right, you'll be enshrined in the Van Sickle Hall of Shame. So far, we have no enshrinees in either hall. But here you go. What's the name of what Atlanta-based heavy metal band? Their first album was titled, critically acclaimed album was titled Remission. What's the name of that band?
You got me, Gary.
It's called Mastodon.
All right, Gary, I see where this is going.
Yes, I think, yeah. What open source software platform, it does social networking so you can do it yourself. It launched in 2016. What's the name of that platform?
Would it be Mastodon?
Well, you avoided the shutout. Good job. What former president financed an expedition to Kentucky to excavate the Mastodon bones found there in 1807? Former president paid for an expedition to Kentucky he actually hired William Clark to do the excavating.
That's your clue.
No, that's not a clue. That's not a clue. I just threw his name in there, but
Clark?
Okay.
it's a former 1807. There aren't a lot of former presidents to pick from.
Yeah, and I'm not real high on my history here. I've been thinking of other things, so you have to help me out here.
Thomas Jefferson.
Thomas
Yeah.
Jefferson. All right.
And what's the difference between a male mastodon and a female mastodon? Well, there's a lot of differences, but
I would say it's probably yeah, I'm going to incriminate myself for a
well,
little
the female doesn't have tusks, but the answer I was looking for, which I totally made up, is the feces of the female mastodon tastes much sweeter than the males.
No right answer with you, Gary.
No, we don't want to. There was also I found another rock band called the Mastodons who they had a video and everything, but I didn't go there. But hey, you got one of them. Normally, I like to ask questions about the guest, like your high school, your hometown, and it's some question you go, I have no idea what school that could be. When I tell you it's your high school, you go, oh, how did I not know that? But we threw this together. What's so? Are you having fun? I mean, not if you've got the course where you want it. I mean, now you got to bring in you got to entice the Wall Street Journal and Golf Channel and No Laying Up and some people to come in and have some fun with this. I've already beat them to the punch. I already got the scoop, but they can still come in and have some fun. You got to get on that.
Yeah, I mean, we've got the course planned very well right now. Here the last month, I've diverted my attention to inside. Now we're coming into the winter months. Not everyone likes to play golf in the snow here in Ohio. So we had 3 vintage virtual golf simulators, and we just pulled the trigger here about a month ago to bring new golf simulators in. So we have totally renovated our virtual golf room, redone it all, new carpeting. I mean, you name it. It's going to be a very nice facility. And we've got Clarity Golf coming in on the 13th to do the final install of the equipment. So we're going to be putting in Unicore launch monitors and GS Pro software is what we're going to be using. So
Now, Alan,
Mhm.
let's tell people where you are, because I knew where you were, so I knew where to go to look you up. But you're not far off Interstate 70, east of Columbus. And what exit is it?
Yeah, it's the Buckeye Lake State Route 79 exit.
And it's north, right?
It is north, yes. North, yeah. North on 79 to State Route 40 to Lake Drive. 4600 Ridgely Track Road, Heath, Ohio. I believe the exit number is 189, I think. But,
Okay, and you're not far from the exit. Once you get off of 70, it's not very far, right?
5 minutes.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It's quick to get off and quick to get back on.
Oh, it's right near that cornfield, right?
Yeah, there's one surrounded by cornfield.
Yeah, it's a lot of what town is it closest to? Is it near Hebron or what's it nearest?
Yeah, Hebron is right next
Hebron?
to it.
Okay.
We're in Heath, yeah. Hebron is a close city. You'll drive through, get into there. But Heath, Thornville, and Hebron are right there, touching one another.
We want people to go because it's such fun, and golfers like to go places and do, play new golf courses and see new things. And I've never heard of a golf course with a Mastodon until today. So
Yeah.
And it's got a Mastodon and indoor simulators for the winter. It's a first.
that's right.
Yep.
What else could you ask for?
It's a new genre. Well, good luck,
Thank
Al.
you very
Thanks for
much.
spending time, and good luck to the Mastodon Golf Club. And I'm going to seriously try to get back over there before the first snow here. So I need a rematch. I didn't do so well. I needed some local knowledge the first time around. I messed up a couple holes.
Yeah, Gary, we'd love to have you bring a foursome with you if you don't have anyone to bring on the October 29th for that Mastodon's Revenge. We can hook you up with a team too. So be a lot
Sweet.
of fun. A lot of fun.
That'd be great. And who knows what animals we'll dig up next time.
Hey,
No more.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Al.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for being on the Golf Show 2.0. And people at home who are watching this, don't forget to subscribe or click on like. So eventually, someday, we can make 17 cents from this.
Oh, we're up from 12 cents. All right.
We probably won't. Well, inflation.
thanks a
I used
lot.
to say 12 cents, but I've had to raise it. Thanks, Alan.